A sinister man with dark eyes hides in the dense forest, watching two women from the shadows. The scene is eerie and tense, with sunlight filtering through thick trees, creating long, dramatic shadows. Suspenseful, cinematic lighting. Two strong village women, one older and wise, Mira, one younger and fiery, Sita, walking through a forest path collecting herbs. They are alert and cautious, with a hint of tension in the air. Traditional Indian village clothing, misty forest background. An older woman stands in the forest night, holding a burning torch in one hand and a rope in the other, her face calm but determined. She emerges from the trees like a guardian spirit. Low-angle shot, dramatic firelight lighting. A giant ancient banyan tree with twisted roots and hanging vines. Morning light shines through fog. A frayed rope dangles loosely from the tree, hinting at something sinister. The scene is quiet, eerie, and mysterious. A giant ancient banyan tree with twisted roots and hanging vines. Morning light shines through fog. A frayed rope dangles loosely from the tree, hinting at something sinister. The scene is quiet, eerie, and mysterious. A sinister man with a rough beard and deep dark eyes lurking behind trees at the edge of the forest. His face is half lit by the moon, expression cold and predatory. Dense forest background, dramatic shadows, and eerie stillness in the air. A wise village woman in her 40s with silver-streaked hair, wearing a simple sari, kneeling in the forest picking herbs. A satchel hangs by her side, and she looks up, alert, as if sensing danger. Light filtering through the canopy gives a sacred, mystical vibe. A young, determined village woman practicing knife movements outside a clay hut at dusk. She wears a worn salwar kameez, her hair tied back, eyes fierce with focus. A lantern glows nearby. Forest looms in the background. Mood, tense and preparing for battle. A massive, ancient banyan tree with thick roots and hanging vines, glowing softly under the pale moonlight. A frayed rope swings from one branch, but no one is there. Mist surrounds the base of the tree, and the forest feels alive with silent whispers. Tone, eerie, mysterious, and powerful. Two women standing together at the edge of the forest at dawn. The younger holds a blade at her side, the older carries an empty rope. Behind them, the banyan tree fades into mist. They look calm, powerful, and unafraid. Golden sunlight begins to rise through the trees. A massive, ancient banyan tree surrounded by fog and silence. Thick roots twist across the forest floor, some stained dark as if with old blood. No birds, no movement, just an eerie stillness. Early morning light breaks through the fog, giving it an ominous glow. Forest spirits may seem implied in the shadows. A young village woman stands in the doorway of her hut at night, eyes wide and haunted. Behind her, the dark forest seems to whisper. Moonlight illuminates her pale, sweat-covered face. Her eyes are drawn toward the trees, as if hearing a call no one else can. An older woman in a dark red sari sits near a fire, face serious and wise. Her eyes glow with knowledge as she speaks to someone off camera. The fire casts flickering shadows around her. Behind her, the forest looms like a living presence. A ghostly male figure half-merged with the roots of the banyan tree. His face is twisted in eternal torment, pale and ghost-like, eyes glowing faintly. Vines wrap around him like chains. The tree seems alive, its bark subtly shaped like faces or symbols. Moonlight gives it a haunting beauty. Sita stands in the rain, barefoot, mud clinging to her feet. Her eyes glow faintly green as vines from the banyan wrap gently around her arms like bracelets. Lightning flashes behind her, illuminating her face, calm, powerful, otherworldly. The forest bows to her, a night scene under a stormy sky. Sita raises her hand toward a ghostly figure writhing beneath the banyan tree. Ancient glowing symbols circle the tree. The forest appears alive, as if watching. The moment is climactic, sacred, and charged with mystic energy. An older woman stands at the edge of the banyan grove at dawn, her sari damp from the storm. The forest behind her is quiet, reverent. She holds a bundle of herbs in one hand and looks back once, as if saying goodbye. A a single blood-red leaf falls from the banyan above her. A mysterious woman, no longer fully human, walks silently through the forest. Her eyes glow faintly, her body wrapped in vines and leaves. She blends with the trees, half spirit, half woman. The forest parts for her as she passes. Tone, hauntingly beautiful, mythical, reverent. A rural Indian village transitioning into modernity. Some electric poles, brick houses under construction, a motorbike parked beside a traditional mud hut. In the distance, a dark, ancient forest looms, untouched and haunting. The banyan grove glows faintly in the early dusk. Tone, mystical realism. A young man in his late 20s, wearing glasses, carrying a backpack and notebook, standing at the edge of a village. He's looking at the dark forest curiously. Behind him, skeptical villagers stare. Warm daylight contrasts with the dark shadows of the banyan trees ahead. Cinematic framing. An elderly Indian woman with silver hair wrapped in a shawl, sitting cross-legged on a woven mat inside a dimly lit hut. An old brass lantern lights her face, casting dramatic shadows. Her expression is wise, weary, and serious as she speaks. Behind her, herbs hang from the ceiling, a surreal, dreamlike forest scene at night. Vines slither toward a sleeping man lying in a tent. A ghostly woman stands between trees, her eyes glowing softly, face partly hidden by leaves. The scene glows with unnatural bluish light, ethereal and mysterious mood, a forest spirit in the form of a woman. Her skin is marked with bark patterns, her eyes glowing softly green. Vines curl through her hair like a crown. She stands barefoot among banyan roots. The forest bows around her. She's not frightening, but immense and ancient. Style, hauntingly beautiful, fantasy realism. A lone man stands with a flashlight in a dense forest at night. Giant roots twist across the ground before a towering banyan tree. Mist coils around the base. Glowing symbols appear faintly in the bark. The tree looks alive, watching. Tone, suspenseful, atmospheric horror. A terrified man running through the woods as the forest closes in. Trees twist unnaturally, roots rise from the ground. Behind him, the ghost-like figure of Sita watches calmly. Rain falls, and greenish light emanates from the forest floor. A scene of chase and submission. Cinematic tension. An old woman sits outside her home under a large neem tree, wrapped in a thin blanket. She stares at the edge of the forest where red banyan leaves fall silently. A cup of tea cools beside her. Her expression is peaceful but distant. Early morning golden light. A wide-angle scene of the banyan grove at twilight. Vines curl like veins, glowing faintly. Two ghostly figures, Sita and Arjun, are barely visible among the trees. The wind rustles the leaves, forming whisper-like patterns. The grove pulses with ancient energy, mood, haunting, powerful, timeless. A modern biology lab, dimly lit, with a single plant in a glass container. The plant has unnaturally green leaves and twisting, vein-like vines. A young woman, Reena, stares at it, captivated. The plant glows faintly, casting eerie green reflections across her face and the metal shelves. A surreal dreamscape, a shadowy forest at night, fog curling along the ground. A man hangs upside down from a tree by roots, his face blank, hollow. In the distance, a woman with glowing eyes watches in silence. Ethereal lighting, haunting atmosphere, a surreal dreamscape, a shadowy forest at night, fog curling along the ground. A man hangs upside down from a tree by roots, his face blank, hollow. In the distance, a woman with glowing eyes watches in silence. Ethereal lighting, haunting atmosphere. A young woman with a backpack stepping off a rural train in a small Indian village. She's dressed in city clothes, but her expression is cold, as if already connected to something deeper. The forest looms beyond the village, darker than the sky above. Tone, cinematic tension. An old mud brick hut hidden at the edge of the forest. Overgrown with vines, but the interior is untouched. Herbs still hanging from the ceiling, a cold cup on the shelf. Dust in the air, sunlight cutting through cracks in the roof. Feels frozen in time. Mystical, intimate vibe. Reena enters the banyan grove. The massive tree towers before her. Vines uncoil gently to clear her path. Red and violet flowers bloom at her feet. The light is soft and otherworldly, glowing between branches. She stands in awe, centered in the frame like a chosen one. Sita stands in the heart of the banyan grove, half woman, half forest. Bark and moss cover parts of her body. Her hair is made of vines and leaves. Her eyes glow softly. The roots of the tree wrap protectively around her, as if she is its heart. Mood, divine, eerie, ancient. Rena steps into the roots of the banyan, glowing symbols on the ground. Vines wrap around her slowly, merging with her skin. Her face is serene. Above her, the branches part like a halo. A moment of sacrifice, power, and unity. High contrast lighting, divine forest glow. A modern city park at night, swing sets and benches partly overtaken by creeping vines and unnatural growth. Streetlights flicker. A barefoot woman in the distance walks slowly, vines trailing behind her. Her silhouette is graceful but unnatural. Urban legend vibe. A modern city park at night, swing sets and benches partly overtaken by creeping vines and unnatural growth. Streetlights flicker. A barefoot woman in the distance walks slowly, vines trailing behind her. Her silhouette is graceful but unnatural. Urban legend vibe.